University of North Texas. This is NTTV Nightly News.
Thanks for joining us on NTTV Nightly News. I'm Nick Ogella. It takes a special type of driver to take on Texas roads. They are busy, and it seems there are more drivers than ever. In fact, our roads are dangerous. NTTV's Olivia Thompson has more on this. Olivia? The case of the murder of Ahmaud Arbery has finally reached a conclusion, as 3 men were found guilty just hours ago in this very room. Judge Warren proceeded over multiple hearings, deciding how the debts of the deceased would be repaid, how assets would be distributed, and how legal guardians would be chosen. I'm on the beautiful UNT campus at the Alumni Center, the site of last week's NT40 Diversity and Inclusion panel. The students in attendance were as bright as the sunny skies we have today, and they shared not only stories of their personal lives, but inspiration as well.
You do not owe explanations to anybody. It doesn't matter if it is about your personal identity, your lived experiences, anything. Let me tell you something.
On April 11th from 7 to 9, something special was taking place. For those brief 2 hours, Room 132 became a safe place. One and all were welcome, and judgment and exclusivity were not.
As I am seen as the first South Asian Muslim to do this and that. I remember in high school I had a conversation with a girl who was also one of the only Pakistani students in the entire high school, and she was about 3 years above me. And I told her how I got into the student council, which is a very prestigious group at my high school, and she said, "Wow, that's only for white people." I go, "Well, I'm here."
Though we won't break down the walls set by generational bigotry and racism in one day, these people see light at the end of the tunnel, and they're going to make sure that one day we do see a world where no one feels alone just for being who they are. Standing tall in the middle of downtown Dallas is the skyscraper known as Renaissance Tower, and sitting just as tall in the 2200 suite of that building is the freshly re-elected probate judge Ingrid Warren. When asked if she felt the pressures of being a pioneer in this field, she said there was none, because she's been doing this for a very long time.
When I first started about 8 years ago as presiding probate judge of this court, it was a little intimidating, I must say. And the intimidation is because of the gravity and the weight of the rulings that the court makes on a daily basis, and how important it is to get it right, and how important it is to make sure that litigants and people have the right experience. When I say the right experience, the pleasant experience in court, at least as much as the judge can provide outside of the ruling. So that was a little daunting, but over time, I got my ski legs under me, and I was able to get comfortable in a position and understand the role of a judiciary.
Usually, these seats would be filled, and someone would be pleading their case at this podium, but because of COVID-19, all hearings will be taken in an empty courtroom on this screen until further notice. Near AT&T Stadium, and right across the street from Globe Life Park, stands the beautiful eSports Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Not only is it fairly new, being built in November of 2018, but it is the largest turnkey esports facility in North America, as well as the site of DreamCon 2022. Adjacent to the Fort Worth Water Garden stands the Fort Worth Convention Center, filled to the brim with smiles, high spirits, and anime fans? It's been a long time since some fans have been able to see each other, let alone come to an event like this. So it was no surprise that people came out in droves to support their favorite voice actors, creators, and just enjoy the medium that they love so much with others that feel the same way.
So I would say the biggest struggle is just the pandemic. We were originally scheduled for May of 2020. And obviously that was kind of right when everything started happening. So we had to postpone for a year and a half, but we are so happy to be here, and even through that 18 months, we were able to connect even more with the community, and I think it still turned out great even with that struggle.
As the final day of Anime Frontier comes to a close, it seems the remains of COVID hasn't shined down on anybody's fun here. I'm Nicholas Ogella with NTTV, signing off.
Nicholas, give me some takeaways from this game. But Nicholas, do you think this game from Dak silences all of those injury talks that we've been talking about?
I think it should. It should be quieter. That's how silent it is. That's how silent the noise is. There is none. I think he'll be fine. And
a lot of people are UNT fans, but we want to know who the real sports fans are. Follow me, let's go. I got $1
for who can guess the name of UNT's football coach?
Oh, that's easy. Seth Littrell.
Seth Littrell. We have a winner.
Seth Littrell.
Woo!
No, I do not know.
My best guess would be like, what's that guy's name? Neil?
Neil
Armstrong?
Neil Armstrong. Our very own Tyler Perry played very well. What do you think about him saying he's gonna channel his inner Medea for the rest of the season?
Does he know about like the real Tyler Perry? Like, wait, is this the real Tyler Perry?
This is the only Tyler Perry I know.
Good
What's
for
your
him.
opinion?
Good for him.
There were so many returns to action on Sunday in the NFL. From Cam Newton to Russell Wilson to Aaron Rodgers, the most impressive of all of these was the true return of Brain Dakota Prescott. I'm gonna be honest for a second. I've been a bit of a homer here at NTTV, strolling in here, disseminating great Cowboys news and highlights for 6 straight weeks. In those 6 weeks, they've been winning. So I would be remiss to not talk about whatever that was they put on the field Sunday. It was that time of year again this past weekend. That's right, folks. Super Bowl Sunday was upon us. If you're anything like me, you've never been to one. So I've remedied this for all of us by talking to someone that has. Take a look.
The Super Bowl is one of the biggest and most watched sporting events every year. Last year brought in the most streams of the event of all time. It's truly an experience that not many get to be a part of. So who better to ask than somebody that's been there not once but twice, and 2-time Super Bowl champion and former Denver Bronco Byron Chamberlain.
Yeah, you know, it was my opportunity to step up and make some plays. And the funny thing about that game was, you know, Shannon Sharp, everybody knows who he is. He was a Hall of Fame tight end, one of the top 5 tight ends of all time. Mm-hmm. And I just had this feeling the whole week that I was going to play a big part in this game, and I was going to have a really good game. And I kept telling my best friend, who's the running back, Terrell Davis, kept telling him all week, "Hey man, I'm going to have a really good game this game. I feel like I'm going to have a really special game." I was telling Terrell Davis and Rod Smith that, and as soon as Shannon gets hurt, Terrell comes up to me and said, "Hey man, you know what you were saying all week, this is your opportunity."
It's a little bit about what is going on out there today. I think you guys are really going to like this, so let's toss it over to Nick. All right. Hey, Nick.
Hey, y'all. It's your host, Nick, in the Butterfly Atrium. We're bringing it straight to you. I'm here with our friends from the Perot Museum. We have a couple of things to show you. I can just turn this around real quick. Hey, what's going on? So what do we have here exactly?
Yeah, so I brought some little robots with me. These are called Ozobots. And the Ozobots are going to read these codes and they're going to react. So I've got some examples already colored here that I'll go ahead and show you how they work.
One of my favorites, a game winner. Speaking of that game, KD said all of those things about he didn't have enough help, his teammates. What do you think we're going to get? And he gets the last shot. He's here. So he's going to win the game, right? No, his teammate, Royce O'Neal, comes in, skies for the rebound, wins the game for the Brooklyn Nets against the Trailblazers. Now, KD, what would you have done? What would you have done without your teammates?
That's right, the Cowboys are back winning again, so best believe I'm back talking about them and more of the exciting things going on in the sports world. We back.